Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. We gotta talk about Joe Biden. We gotta talk about Joe Biden and contrast him towards, of course, the president. Something we've done before, but the contrast could not be more clear, and it gets more important each and every day to keep highlighting just how much of a clown Joe Biden truly is. Every single thing they attack the president for, almost everything, is more true for Joe than it is for Donald Trump. And probably the biggest and most important thing is the whole narrative of lies. How many times have you heard Democrats quote PolitiFact or some other fact-checking organization, something, Brian Stelter said on one of his segments, the president has lied 20,000 times, 20,000 mistruths or lies during his 4 years in office, most of which we know it's complete BS, all while completely ignoring the fact that Joe Biden is a chronic, unabashed liar, malicious liar, and has been for his entire political career. Here's the difference. President Trump's only been in politics for about 4.5, maybe 5 years. Joe Biden has been there for 5 decades. President Trump doesn't have a lying problem. President Trump almost never lies, and that's why he gets himself in trouble with the things that he says. Where Joe Biden got absolutely censured and rebuked in his 1987-1988 run for president because he was a liar and a plagiarist. And if you think that's changed, well, you got another thing coming. The man's been lying non-stop during the entire political process from the primary to the general election. And so we got to expose his most recent rally, some ridiculous thing that he said. Then we got to contrast the two, talk about President Trump, talk about Joe Biden, and really just set the record straight. But before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright, so here's Joe Biden once again questioned about his son Hunter, the whole scandal. Let's just say he didn't take too kindly to it.
Mr. President-elect, on Russian disinformation, Mr. President-elect, do you still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation and a smear campaign, like you said?
Yes. God love you, man. You're a one-horse pony. I tell you. Thank you.
This guy, like I told you, is a complete clown. And what's his obsession with ponies? Initially it was this.
I was a Democratic caucus. No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
So first it was a dog-faced pony soldier, and now he's calling reporters who ask him a simple question about his son and the investigation. He's calling them one-horse ponies. Really quick, I need to Google what a one-horse pony is. And so as expected, it's apparently calling someone a one-trick pony. Apparently, people suggest that it's derived from poorly translating the slogan from German to English. But either way, Joe Biden talking like a cartoon villain from the 1950s is definitely no surprise. The next thing, or the little tidbit that I want to focus on in that interaction, is that when questioned by the reporter about whether or not he still thought it was Russian disinformation, he answered yes.
Do you still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation and a smear campaign, like you said?
Yes.
Remember when I told you Joe Biden is a liar and will say anything as long as it benefits him, his public image, or his ambitions, and in this case political ambitions? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Every single intelligence agency has come out and said explicitly that it's not Russian disinformation. The laptop is in fact Hunter's. Him and his campaign have never denied the fact that these emails and the information on the laptop is inaccurate, and this guy is still with a straight face coming out and saying that it's Russian disinformation. Tony Bobulinski said the only reason he came out whatsoever was because of that claim.
Well, in basic form, you're exactly right. They are publicly accusing me of treason right now, treating me like I'm insignificant, or the 50 years of history that my family served this country is insignificant. And that's why I'm sitting here having this. I assure you, this is the absolute last place I want to be right now, and the last thing I want to be doing right now. But I feel like I have a patriotic duty to this country and every American citizen to go on record and to find the facts for them and let them do their own work. Let them decide how they view those facts or not. But for the Biden family to deny these facts, and then not only deny them, they could have just said no comment, but they didn't say no comment. They then brought in Russian disinformation and basically associated my name with that, which is absolutely disgusting to me. And I had to go on the record.
The man is such a liar. It's actually unbelievable. He's lied about his academic career. He's lied about bills that he signed and things that he's done in office. He's lied about the president endlessly and fearmongered about the whole Charlottesville thing a million different times, regardless of how many times he gets debunked. He lied about his entire policy proposal platform. Every single thing that he said he was going to do, he then backtracked on it and betrayed an entire segment of the Democrat Party in doing so. He's lied about everything. Those are just the top things that I can think right off the top of my head. But just think about that, and let's really put the last part into perspective. The president who's said things and done them is apparently the bad guy. But the guy who literally lies, tells you he's going to do something, then does the exact opposite, is apparently the virtuous man of character. It's a backwards world. We are living in potentially an idiocracy. And speaking of the president being a man of action, speaking of the president saying he's going to do something and then delivering on that exact idea, it's happening once again. We know very recently, Mitch McConnell, fighting against the president, wants to push the $700+ billion defense bill, regardless of the president's demands and push to reform Section 230 and enable free speech on the internet by law. Well, the president ain't having it, folks. Just in, President Trump vetoes $740 billion defense bill. He says he's gonna do something and then he does it. Unlike Ted Cruz and all of these bozos who blah blah blah, talk and never get the job done, the president says he's gonna do it and then actually does it. This is something that should have been done a whole lot long ago, and it's unfortunate given the current circumstance after the election, but the president's pissed. And if the legal action that the Trump team is taking won't pan out over the next couple months, the president is going to do as much as he can before inauguration, and it's already starting. Trump pardons former congressmen and 13 others, one of which is George Papadopoulos, a man who got railroaded by federal agencies, a man who got caught up with the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton and the Democrat machine abusing federal agencies and powers to go after anyone near the president. One person who the president definitely needs to pardon is Julian Assange, a man who, in my opinion, intel agencies and Americans, and especially crony establishment Washington goons like Liz Cheney and others, have painted him as a Russian asset endangering national security within the US, which is completely false, and we saw that based on the leak phone call recently released by James O'Keefe and Project V. Julian Assange was actively trying to warn the US and feed them the information that they needed before the catastrophic potential release of classified documents. And it's funny because liberals, especially Twitterati woke liberals, used to love whistleblowers talking about pardoning Edward Snowden and the likes until it affected them politically, and Julian Assange and WikiLeaks exposed Hillary Clinton and the Podestas and the rest of them for what they were, corrupt politicians playing the game. And now all of a sudden, the Democrat establishment sings a different tune. CNN's Cam, Trump's scary pardon send message, go abuse the law and you could be forgiven. Yes, because righting the wrong of those abusing their power within the FBI and within government to go after American citizens was definitely not the abuse of the law here. Give me a break. The contrast could not be more clear between Joe Biden and President Trump. If you're looking at this honestly, it's not even a close match. And speaking of not even a close match, President Trump addressed the nation on the same day as Joe Biden from the office of the president-elect. And when Democrats and moderate cowardly voters kept saying they want to vote for Joe so politics can get boring again, they weren't exactly lying. Joe Biden being so incredibly nothing, being such an empty shell of a human being, he addresses the nation and gets 23,000 views after 5 hours. Absolutely pathetic. Meanwhile, the president gets nearly 500,000 after 53 minutes, and just look at the difference in likes. Look at the comments, just look at the interaction. Oh, but don't worry guys, Joe Biden is the most popular president in American history. So much more popular than 2008 Barack Obama. It's not even close. 80 million votes, no problem. 23K views? Yes, sir. The president is on point. And another promise delivered, Operation Warp Speed is about to save the world from the global pandemic. Trump administration secures another 100 million more vaccine doses from Pfizer. So it turns out the president and his leadership are about to save a whole lot more lives than the fear-mongering Democrats who have used the pandemic to attack him ever could have. But that's what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. Now I gotta get back to work because there's a whole lot of hypocrisy that must be exposed on a daily basis. So I'm gonna get to that. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one.